once again, my friend. Now let's continue with the EPL. We're done with the KPL action, and of course Harambee Stars with their 2026 World Cup qualifiers match. Now in the EPL, the most talked about news right about now is the fact that Everton have been deducted 10 points after after breaching the financial fair play rules of the EPL, the worst ever penalty ever been given as far as deduction points is concerned, with the most recent one being 9 points only. Now, this particular deduction leaves them at number 19, and that is far at the relegation zone of the table, deducting them 10 points from 14 to 4, and this can really affect of course the overall play of the team. Remember, from the club, they have already communicated saying they are going to appeal the decision, because but then again it still stands that as much as they're going to appeal, the fact is the penalty, the sanction will still stand. 10-point ban, of course, for going against the financial fair play rules. Now, first of all, let's just start with that Mr. Oloo. Do you think how will this impact the overall should we say the mental strength of the players, the capacity for them to bounce back? Of course, so far Sean Dyche's team, they had a run of good games. Of course, they are a middle table team, but then again, when you look at how they have been performing so far, they have managed to get positive results on the flip side. But this is a big disadvantage to them. How will this affect the team in your own view?
Now, this is a very big blow to them,
right?
Because dropping points and going back to to the bottom of the table,
right?
Because Everton is always playing in the Europa, but now with this, I think they can maybe become back to relegation zone, because all the time we are now continuing with the second leg,
right?
And all teams are right now trying to save their points and get points, so it's going to be very hard for them. And also the players, I'm very sure they are devastated moral-wise,
right?
And I believe that some of them might even move and shift teams.
Right, definitely it is a big blow for them, because right now only Burnley, who sits at the bottom place on the table, is under them. So just like you mentioned, this might increase their chances of them being relegated, because as the games go by, also we understand that the way football is happening, it's not getting easier as the games are going on. But then again, if anything like this is anything to go by, Chelsea and Manchester City should also be worried, because currently also they are also facing other investigations because of breaching financial fair play rules. And remember, sometime last season, Man City were really lucky for them to waliponea kidogo tu. So this time around, of course, with all of the allegations, they have about 115 allegations against them. So we are going to keep you on the loop to see how they are going to fight this one off. But then again, currently the big news is the fact that Everton are the ones suffering for now as far as point deduction is concerned. And just put that away. Now let's focus on how the EPL is shaping up. That's like it is everywhere. The international break is happening with the Euro 2024 qualifiers. But then again, when you look at how the EPL is shaped up so far, City are back on top of the league, and just like we always say it, when City sit at the top of the table, it's normally hard for them to be bundled off the top seat. Many have tried. Ask Arsenal. Many have tried. Ask Arsenal. Ask Liverpool. They have really tried to come back and hurt City, but it has been difficult for them. So after 12 games, Manchester City are boasting 9 wins. We have 2 losses, 1 draw with 28 points. Liverpool and Arsenal are tying with 27 points. That is Liverpool having a major goal difference, 8 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss for both of them. Tottenham sealing the 4th place. Did you anticipate, Mr. Oloo? First of all, you're a Manchester United fan, Sidio?
Yes.
Go to buy your Manchester United fan. Elvis is of the same, in the same boat. But then again, after match week 12, yes, this is how the top 4 is shaping up like. Of course, Tottenham wanaanza vizuri sana wakajigamba, but then again they're number 4 Arsenal as well, same on subgroup. Out of this top 4, you can say that Liverpool is the one who has tried really best when you compare the performance of last season. But did you anticipate for us to have this kind of look so far?
Okay, now I want to start with Liverpool.
Right.
Mo Salah, their player Mo Salah, and the other, I think, the other striker, I think they are now blending very well.
Right.
They have gelled completely, and they've gelled well. And I believe that is why they are easily assisting one another in the game. And I believe they are the support for each other. And that is the center forward, which they are very good at. And I believe it's very good for Liverpool and crucial, because the defense is also equally good.
Right.
Secondly, on Tottenham now, I believe Tottenham, I don't know where the problem started. I can't really say, but if you see Son,
Yes.
Son, their player, he's tried to pass, trying to engage all the players all the time. I think that he's moving in every position.
Right.
I believe the coach should give him the center, because that is the best position for him. Because if he keeps on shifting him, I believe that causes a stressful environment for him.
Right.
And maybe they can bring another player in so that can help Son, and they can be able to help Tottenham succeed. But right now it is becoming a problem. Now on to Chelsea. They started poorly, but right now what we can see, I believe the morale right now of the team is now building up, and I believe that after the international break, I pray they don't go back to where they were before.
All right, let me just take you back to Liverpool's team. And now Jurgen Klopp has so far done really well as far as starting the international the competition is concerned, both in the EPL and also in the Europe, that is the Europa League, because they are winning on all sides of the game. And just like you said, Mohamed Salah and I believe you're talking about Darwin Núñez, they are now sinking really well, playing really well up in front. But there are shortcomings here and there, especially on how the midfield sector, for example, is aligning itself generally. Do you believe that Liverpool will continue with the same momentum that they have had so far, or just like injury being one of the major problems that it will hurt them in future? What is your stand on how Liverpool should really maintain their top performance?
I believe that if Mo Salah and Núñez can continue with this, with the sync that they have,
yes,
I believe they can, be able to continue very well. Núñez is a little bit weaker compared to Mo Salah on scoring, but he assists very well. And I believe that if the two continue together, gelling as they have, then Liverpool will continue growing.
Do you believe the defense is really well compacted? Do you think they can really sustain these coming games in future?
Now, for now, I believe it's a 50-50. There's a little bit of gap and loopholes, because in the last game, for example, the defense was split, and then they allowed the center. It was easy for a person to, for a striker of the opponent to access, because they were focused more on the wing and forgot about the center. And that is very easy, giving the opponent an easy chance of scoring. And that is the problem in the defense.
Without a doubt, they went ahead, and bought in new players in the transfer market, the likes of Slobozai, the likes of Gravenberch. How can you rate their performance so far? How can you rate the way they have gelled with the team so far?
Now, when a player is brought in the EPL, there's always, a struggle of, to blend well with the player and to play well. But I think most importantly, we must give them time.
Of course, fans will be looking to see how they're going to perform next in their next action when they're playing against Manchester City. Now, that will be a tough test for Pep Guardiola as well as Jurgen Klopp. Remember how Pep Guardiola and I are going to shift to City automatically with this one. The way Chelsea did hold them, not many had anticipated the 4-4 game that ended with at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea did really well, and just like many had thought, they came to the game as underdogs. But then again, Manchester City ended up, not giving their all, and it sort of seemed that they were the underdogs in that particular game. Let's just start with that first. Don't you believe that the way Chelsea played against Manchester City is very commendable, and they are starting to raise question marks against beating the current champions, Manchester City.
Okay, now if you watch that game, the players were the Manchester City players especially, were very relaxed. I believe that they expected, because everyone, including the fans, expected that knew that they were going to beat Chelsea,
right,
generally. But Chelsea came to the game because I believe they want to progress, because right now if you see the sanctions that are coming up, very many people are fearing. And if you are hit with the sanction,
right,
then you can lose point and be dropped to relegation.
All right. But then again, Manchester City, they have come back to the fray. They're at number 1 as far as the EPL is concerned. 28 points, sitting pretty after 12 games. What should Pep Guardiola do to continue the same momentum? Of course, we know him to be quite attention to detail kind of manager. He doesn't allow room for mistakes. But then again, when you are at number 2 so far, you're number 1 so far with 2 losses, it goes to show that there's a little bit of that vulnerability as far as defense is concerned, and we saw that against a team like Chelsea, and also a team like Wolves in the Premier League, who also beat them, handing them one of their defeats. Do you believe Manchester City are somewhat vulnerable, and what is the key area that are letting them down as far as staying compact is concerned?
Okay, right now I believe that the coach Pep Guardiola, I believe you must work with the players very well, because the players can feel tired,
right,
and because you see they are running the entire game 90 minutes. I believe they can be tired. So if possible, they can rotate each game so that each player can have time to relax, and I believe that they can continue staying in the EPL, because you see they're in the EPL, they're involved in the Champions League,
right,
so it can be tough coordinating all these tournaments.
Well, tough it will be indeed when they play against Liverpool. Of course, they'll be at home against Liverpool, but then again, after that, we have the Champions League, where many are saying, because they are automatically through to the round of 16. Pep Guardiola can, when he introduces Champions League, he can employ maybe second team to try and participate. So this is the most serious one when they play against Liverpool, because they understand that Liverpool are catching up with them with only a single point between them. Do you believe this is that is the situation?
It's going to be very hard, because against Liverpool, it must be a very technical game. Both teams are, both teams are going to play a technical game. It will be a game of driving and falling back.
Right.
Because you see both teams, Klopp and Pep, the two coaches, I believe that they work in the same way. Their strategies are almost the same way. Because if you've seen clearly, it is going to be a very hard game, and like I said before, a technical game.
All right. At number 3, we have Arsenal, who are similarly 10 points with Liverpool at 27. But so far from Mikel Arteta's side, despite the rant he had against the VAR last time out, where he complained that VAR are being unfair with him, they'll be playing away against Brentford. How do you see this panning out for the Gunners? Remember, so far they are full of confidence. Their players are doing really well. When you look at how Saka is doing really well up front with the likes of Jesus, the captain Odegaard stepping up to the plate. Defense-wise, they're also really well, because they have only lost one game so far. How do we see Arsenal going on further with the games?
Now, for Arsenal's case, I don't think they should not be worried about VAR, because right now they need to focus on the game. If you're offside, then accept that and accept the play. Because you see, Jesus right now is stressed about VAR, but very many times if you watch the VAR, Jesus is always offside.
Right.
So I think they need to work on that to improve that. And also, if you look at, Arsenal's games, previous games, their game plan and their way of passing was very coordinated. Jesus normally, waits and then makes the run for the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
How can you see this panning out for the Gunners?
Now I think that's going to be a win for Arsenal.
Brentford are at home.
But also,
if they score fast,
if they score first in the first half, then it's going to be a win for them. That will be very good. Because you see Brentford, it will not be easy, because remember, this is the second leg as well. So
Right.
it's not going to be easy.
All right, thank you, but thank you so much for that. Let us know if you agree with Mr. Oloo's sentiments and opinions. Do you believe that a tough team like Brentford, Arsenal can still come up and get the desired results? Remember, Brentford has really caused problems for their counterparts before, the likes of Manchester United. They've really shown that they are a tough side to beat, especially when they are playing at home. Now, at number 4, Tottenham. Not many had anticipated Tottenham to be here so far, because last season was quite a mess for them. This time round, coach Ange Postecoglou came in and made quite a number of signings, quite a number of differences with the squad. They enjoyed for the better part of the opening season at the top of the table, but right about now sitting at number 4 with 2 losses, 2 draws and 8 wins so far with 26 points. What is your overall assumption on how Tottenham have played so far?
Okay, now the problem with Tottenham, I believe it's the mentality. I think losing Kane,
Right.
that affected them mentally. I think he was a very critical and vital player, and I believe that really affected them once they lost Kane. But I also know that with time, I believe that we can be able to see Son picking up, because right now he's very struggling. He's struggling to fit the shoes
Right.
of Con. Sorry,
yes.
to fill the shoes of Kane.
Of course, without a doubt, when Kane left, leaving that void of a striker was there, and Son is seemingly being shifted. He's seemingly being placed to a new role. And how do you see him fitting into this? Because of course, so far he's done really well, but then again, this comes when he's being fed really well the ball with the likes of James Maddison in the squad. But James Maddison has so far he's been out on injury, and we've seen also Son struggling to capitalize on the final moments of the ball. Do you believe he's suitable for the striking place? Ama arudishwe on the wing and number 7 kama kawaida kama zoea?
Okay, I think Son. Now, this is from my opinion, of course. I believe that Son, should be at the center,
Right.
center forward. He should stay in that position. But also, the coach needs to, identify 2 other players who can be able to, assist and be of help to Son, so that he can be able to, convert and score the goal. Because Son is very good in scoring.
Right.
Right now, he's trying to fill the gap that
Right.
that Kane had left in the team.
Okay, now let me ask you, this is just a random question. With this top 4 that we have, Manchester City, at number 1, 28 points, Liverpool and Arsenal tying with 27 points, then we have Tottenham with 26 points. If you were to be asked, Mr. Oloo, to pick a suitable starting 11 from these 4 teams, in these 4 top 4 teams that we have so far, just give us roughly your starting 11 with these 4. Remember, Manchester City, of course, boasting the likes of top goalkeepers, Ederson Pale, we have Alisson Pale, Liverpool. Whom can you pick to come into the fray to lead a potential starting 11?
Liverpool goalkeeper, Edison, I'd pick him.
Back 4.
My goalkeeper.
All right.
But also, for other players, first 11, it's a little bit of a tricky situation, because, for example, now we look at Liverpool and Manchester City. There are some players who can, juggle between 2 positions. Because if you give me the entire list, then I can be able to,
Top
pick.
3. Top 3. Top 3.
Still hard. For me, it's very hard to pick a top 3.
Ideal situation.
For example, give me an
If you
example.
would have Mohamed Salah, right? Erling Haaland, right? Then we have, let's say, let's take from Arsenal, let's take someone like Martinelli. Is that an ideal front three for you? Haaland.
I pick Haaland from those three.
In the midfield sector, we've seen Manchester City doing really well with the likes of Rodri coming in to step in really well. Dissect what is ongoing at United so far. Well, of course, we understand that the outward noise, Kpl And Epl, the likes of Jadon Sancho, has really been dragging the club kidogo. But then again, injuries are also there to be called out, especially in the defense department. Aaron Wan-Bissaka amerudi tu juzi. We are seeing where Varane is not playing 90 minutes. Johnny Evans was just taken off the other day. Shaw, Malacia are big doubts so far. Dalot is not really stable. Midfield sector problems for United as well. What just unpack generally as a United fan? How do you feel and how do you understand? The games coming up ahead. How is United so far?
Okay, I believe right now the coach is really trying very well, especially in the discipline in the dressing room. Right now, that is something that is very changing, because we've seen Sancho. Yes, he has to accept and apologize. Because if you remember carefully, when Ferguson was the coach, you couldn't you couldn't misbehave in the game. No player of Manchester United was bigger than the club. Because right now it's very important. Discipline right now, I believe, is coming back, and I believe we can progress and continue succeeding.
Right, and as far as aligning the team really well, getting the right players to come in, as far as and get positive results in your perspective. We've seen the likes of Bruno Fernandes. He's a leader, but he has been questioned a lot of times of his capabilities, not calling out the players, not directing the players really well. Do you believe that he is the captain of the club, and as far as getting stepping to the right direction is concerned, where are the areas that United really need to take the right, they cross the T's, dot the I's? What are the areas they should really focus on improving?
Okay, now on a personal level,
right,
I believe that leadership varies depending on the people. Not everyone, not every leader is going to be the same and to display the same quality as them. Yes, there's a group that might be. Yes. Now, when we're in the field, it's not good if the players are not in sync and are not united. Right. But I believe it is the captain's responsibility to have a command in the field so that all can give and have mutual respect for each other.
And I think we saw this really clearly when Cristiano Ronaldo was still at the club, because I think he assumed he was the overall leader, but he was not given the armband quite often. Maguire was leading the team, and I believe when you talk about respect on the field, maybe at his perspective, on his perspective or his side, he could not see that Maguire maybe is a lesser player. He cannot command respect, and for him to follow. And there are those such kind of questions coming up as far as the dressing room is concerned. But then again, they are playing against the trophies. Everton away next time round when they meet. Everton, one might see this situation, they are the underdogs, but that term now squeezy is not really favorable, because this is what Chelsea did to Manchester City with them being underdogs. Do you believe this sort of opportunity for United to bounce back to winning ways? Remember, they are one of the clubs to so far in the past 5 games to record positive results. Do you believe against Everton it's another stab for them to go ahead and record the necessary 3 points?
Now, first things first. First things first.
Right.
The first thing is that Everton currently, they have a problem. So if Manchester United can capitalize on their problem and their weakness, then they have a chance. They stand a chance of winning. But I'm also seeing an area where Everton is always,
defending
strong, and that is defending against Manchester United.
Right.
That is the only area of worry that I have.
That I accept. That is true. That is very true, because Everton so far, they have really managed to keep Manchester United at bay. And Sean Dyche, he was really tasked in the last season. He was tasked to come into the team and get them out of the relegation zone. They end up finishing just above the relegation spot. This time around, they are finding themselves in the same situation after the the FFP rules, the 10-point deduction, and this is one of the considered one of the time where apparently Sean Dyche is very lethal, and as far as getting results. This is why it's very dangerous, especially when he's at the relegation zone. So.
And also, that is one area that I also I also have fears about. Because right now, you see, they are very that word, the underdog.
Yes.
An underdog is someone who you should be very wary about.
Right.
Because when they meet the top teams, they always want to make sure that they don't lose that game.
Okay, that is Manchester United. We will be looking to see how they're going to bounce back on their winning ways after the international break. Following closely is at number 7 is Newcastle with 20 points. Now, Eddie Howe's side, of course, started off. Yes, they started off the season really well, but then again, abruptly, Tena tunawapata at number 7, just behind Manchester United. How can you sum up their performance so far? Of course, they have been doing really well in the Europe, that is the Champions League so far. But then again, we've seen the big upsets, the slight wins against a team like Dortmund that is exposing their weaknesses. And right now in the Premier League, we're also seeing the same. Newcastle, unpack them for me, please.
Now, Newcastle's situation, I believe that the problem is, I believe when they had the fans, they bought very many players, and that was good. I think they wanted to achieve a championship. Right now, because they're playing in all these leagues, all the tournaments, right now they have the EPL, they have the Champions League. These players are not used to all these tournaments at once. I believe most of them are very tired, and that is the problem.
Without a doubt, that can be one of the key factors to look at, and they will be tested without a doubt when they play against Chelsea next time round. That is another team we want us to look at as we wind up the top 10. Chelsea, after the 4-4 draw against Manchester City. Many had seen this coming because Chelsea are a team that is revamping, it's changing, and the way that they have really dominated so far when they have scored.
Now, when Chelsea played Manchester City and they managed to get the 4-4 draw, I believe this was a morale booster for them, for the players especially. But also remember that the next game with Newcastle, this is going to be a very big test for them against Newcastle.
Do you think they will win? Who will win between the two sides?
Now it is a very hard game. It is a very hard game. So let me not comment on who will win.
But a benefit of doubt, I believe Chelsea, Newcastle will be at home, so they will have that the backing of the fans. They'll have a chance to come back and roar again to try and get positive results.
Now for Newcastle, because right now you see they have 12 players.
12 players, yes.
Yeah, they have
the fans. Yes.
The fans right now. I believe that this is going to be a morale booster and encourage them, and they must try and win. But it's also possibly maybe when Chelsea come, I believe that they will maybe struggle and maybe get a draw. That is a chance. They might win. Or both teams right now, you see, both teams right now currently they want to win. So that's why I say this game is very, very difficult.
Alright, definitely without a doubt we'll be keeping an eye on that, and make sure you catch up and make a date with us because we'll be giving you a detailed analysis on when the match day 14 will be kicking off. Remember, right now we have the international break, but then again, the teams broke at match day 13. And ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the program. Remember, we have been asking you. We started off with the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, where Harambee Stars right now are waiting for the match day 2 against Seychelles on Monday. But match day 1, they were humbled after a 2-1 loss against host Gabon. Remember, we are asking you, do you believe that Kenya will qualify? They have a chance to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. Make sure you talk to us, send us your opinions. We'll be hoping to unpack all this on Monday on our detailed analysis. As far as the KPL is concerned as well, we are asking you, do you believe Posta Rangers are on a good run of form and they can cause a massive upset for current champions Gor Mahia. Now, we've come to the end of the show, but then again, just to leave you with some information that is as far as the Safari Sevens Kenya is back. It's as we're speaking right now, action is continuing pale ndani ya RFUBA grounds, that is in Ngong. But then again, the tournament is from 17th through to the 19th, and the big teams are playing. We have the Kenya Shujaas, who are the current champions, they are being tested, alongside Germany, alongside Uganda, alongside Red Whalers from UK, as well as Tropic Sevens from the USA. That is how Pool A is looking like. Pool B, we have Germany, then we have Morans, still from Kenya, also we have Samurai, then we have KCB, our very own KCB. We'll be looking to try and have a test as far as the Safari Sevens is concerned. Then closing up that group is Western Province, also in that particular group. And also participating in the Safari Kenya Sevens is the women team, the Lioness, the Uganda Cranes as well. Then we have the Tax Sevens, not forgetting Tropic Sevens, who have also come with the ladies team from the US, and the Cubs also capitalizing to try and come and win. Maybe just to ask you, Mr. Oloo, are you a big fan of rugby? Hapo sawa. When you look at yes. All Black.
I support
New Zealand. Hapo sawa. Vile kusomea this kikosi Safari Sevens Kenya. Pool A, of course. I'm expecting we're talking maneno ya New Zealand All Blacks. You're supposed to rally between Shujaa or Morans. When you look at these particular groups, do you believe Kenya, we have a chance to try and win again? Shujaa Sevens are the current champions. Do you believe, they have a chance to reclaim this title against this long list of, qualified players?
I believe that we might win,
right.
But also I think that in the list maybe we can get the plate.
Wonderful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, talk to us. Make sure, let us know, do you agree with Mr. Oloo, or what are your thoughts and opinions? Do you believe this far is also another tough test for Team Shujaa or Team Morans, or better yet, our very own Team Lioness, Pale representing in the women category? But then again, we've come to the end of the program. Remember to catch up with us on Monday. Ndani ya Sports City Extra, you'll be with me, also leading you in the fray. Remember to also catch up with our content on our social media platforms, Science TV Kenya, across all social media platforms. You've been with me, your host, Bill Clinton ODHIAMBO, and my guest this afternoon has been EDWIN Asante sana for making time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Right.
And continue watching Science TV.
Thank you so much, Edwin. Of course, my language champions have been Tobias Omoni and Esther Kendi. Make sure you catch up with us later on our news roundup with Chris Mulolo. Until we meet next time, have a good weekend.